Welcome back to episode 3 of the Daily Driver Diaries. Today we're going to be replacing some suspension and replacing the brakes, which have got really bad. So let's get stuck straight into it. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is replace the suspension. Why are we doing this? Well, the previous owner replaced the cracked front springs the last time it went through MOT. Gave me 2 rear springs which haven't been changed, but if you look, so this side of the car, there's quite a gap there, but if I bring you around the other side, let me see, there's hardly any gap. So I suggest that the suspension, either the shocks or the springs, are gone. So we're going to take it up, we're going to replace, we've got shocks, we've got the replacement lowering springs because he bought a full set when he did the front one. So we're going to start with that, and then when we're in there we're also going to change the rear brakes, but we'll get onto that afterwards. Let's start through the GoPro on and we'll start with the suspension. Okay, so missed the drama of getting the spring out. I only had one side jacked up when I started and then realised it would be far easier if I took the other side off. So both shocks are now out. Interestingly, that the shock mounts are actually in the boot, but here's what we discovered. So as I suspected, you see the springs are 2 different sizes, and that is the bottom half of one of the springs. So yeah, I mean, it's cracked in multiple places there. Definitely past its best, so good to be changing that. The other thing is on the shocks. With a healthy shock, you shouldn't be able to compress it by hand and it should rebound out. Neither of these, oh, crunchy, do. So on with the replacements. So there we have it, new shocks and new springs in at the back. Sorry I had to stop recording that last clip, it started to rain out of nowhere. Didn't want the camera getting soaked, so yeah, we finished up this side. Let me see it there, all looking good. Now, next task is to change the brakes. So the brakes are metal on metal, making a horrible screeching noise. Actually, if I can get a clip, I'll try and insert it here. If not, imagine the noise of metal on metal grinding brakes. So I have the brake discs in there and the pads. First problem is that these spacers have been on forever and they're literally wedged on there. So a bit of heat, we'll get them off and then we'll get into changing the brakes. so there we have it. That's that all stripped down. Discs definitely passed their best, as were the pads. Needless to say, very little left on those pads, or the discs absolutely done. New ones I've just checked to the right side. Interestingly, the Meganes use two different axle sizes. I think it's 25 and 30 or 25 and 35 mil. I checked a receipt, and the last time they were changed they were 25 mil, but also I was super nervous ordering them to make sure I got the right ones, because I hate getting to that this stage of something and then having to put it all back. So now we're going to wind the caliper back. So we'll just take the lid off the brake fluid reservoir to do that, wind the caliper back and start rebuilding it. Fingers crossed it all goes smoothly. So far so good. That's one side done. Now we're going to rinse and repeat on the other side. Both sides done. The second, that side, fought me a wee bit, to be honest. More so getting the caliper wound back in, but it was extended right out. There was literally nothing left on the pad whatsoever. But mounted it all back up just to give a bit of leverage, wound it back in, all good. Again, greased the sliding pins and we're good to go. So get the wheels back on, and then I'll throw the camera into the car and we'll go for a drive and make sure everything sounds alright. Right, let's go for a drive and see if we fix the problem. Give the brakes a good pump first of all, just to make sure I get a pedal. Have a pedal, which is good. Have a handbrake. Have a handbrake as well. Let's go. Absolutely lovely is that there's no metal on metal squealing. The pads were so bad when they came off. I just got used to it over the last couple of weeks before I got to do this. Oh, I can brake again. This is great. I cannot accurately express how happy I am at the fact that I can brake. And so far, no knocks or bangs. So we're gonna call that good. New springs in the back, new shocks, new brakes, new pads. The car's also sitting at a far nicer height, so we'll pop over to that when I get back to the house and do a bit of an outro. Absolutely terrified me. Ah, it's broken! No, it's not, we're alright. Just need petrol again. That is us done for the day. suspension in, brakes on, all looking great. Road test, fantastic. So really happy with that as a result. Thanks very much for watching along, for joining me in this episode. If you enjoyed the content, I'd really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one.